Hi everyone, it's Sarah from Plan Sarah Plan. And as you can see, I have a new planner here for us to go through. This is the MäksēLife Goal Planner. It was sent to me free of charge so that I could share it with you guys, but I'm not an affiliate at this time. I'm just interested in showing you this planner and trying it myself. It's a coil planner, but the coil has a name. I think it's called D rings, or I don't know what kind of rings this is called, but it's not like a spiral coil. And you can actually open these up and rearrange the planner if you want to. I've seen people do that. It has a hard cover. It comes in two options, or it did for 2020. This is the 2020 planner. And of course, we're already halfway through 2020. It looks better in person, more vibrant in person than it did in the pictures that I saw. But there's blue and there's yellow. This is obviously the yellow. And I've already put some images. These are images from the vision board that I did, and I'll show you a little bit later. I think this planner is really super for people who want to work on certain goals in their life. I love this for goal setting. In fact, this whole first tab is dedicated to goal setting. And Sierra Friend is a life coach. She's the creative director of MäksēLife. She's the founder of MäksēLife. And she has really done a great job of spelling out to you how to set goals based on what your values are and your intentions are in life. And she really has some helpful prompts to get you thinking. And I would dedicate some serious time to actually working through these first pages before you jump right in. That's what I did. So I received this last month, but I really wanted to get to know this and understand it before I did a review. So these are the getting started pages. As you can see, I highlighted tons of stuff. I pulled out a quote that I really loved from Tony Robbins. Complexity is the enemy of execution. That's deep. You know, how often do we make things more difficult than we need to, and then we don't get anything done? But she walks you through how to establish a starting point. You're going to assess where you are in 8 different areas of life, and that is going to be your starting point. And then you set goals for where you want to go. So these 8 areas are personal, fun and recreation, work and learning, family and relationships, health and wellness, spiritual and personal growth, financial and physical environment. After I answered all of the questions in the assessment scoring, I took my score and used that to help me fill out this compass. The areas where I filled in the most are the areas where I'm the strongest. So personal, work and learning is decent, spiritual and personal growth, and physical environment. Those are my strongest 4. My weakest is fun and recreation. Isn't that funny? I mean, I do planners all the time and I consider that fun. When you answer these questions, it turns out that I don't plan enough time to have nothing to do, to have vacations, or to set time aside just for relaxing and refreshing. So that's something I need to work on. And also health and wellness. I'm gonna blame it on the quarantine, but really in general, I have a hard time being consistent with exercise, but that has gotten even worse during the quarantine. So those are 2 areas that I'm working on. And these little circles are what you're gonna shoot for. So there are little lines in here you probably can't see, but it goes from 1 to 10. And you're circling the number that you want to get to by the end of this planner. I'm at whatever this is. Let's say it's about 1, 2, 3 on fun and recreation, and I want to get to 5. That's a super helpful starting point. And when you fill out your scores for all of these areas, you're going to total it up and then divide by 8, because there are 8 questions, and that gives you your average answer, which is the answer that you use for your life compass. On this page, you set intentions, and you're going to choose a word of the year. And at the beginning of 2020, I actually settled on the 9 fruit of the spirit as my word of the year, but she wanted me to whittle that down in this book. So the word that I have arrived at for 2020 is consistency. So my goal is to be consistent. My goal is to demonstrate the fruit of the spirit always, so consistently, and to not give up on goals when progress is slow. I want my efforts to be consistent. All right, and then this is another good quote that I pulled out. Approach your goals with progress as the main objective. Right? So we can do that. We can make progress. So then you feel, like you're succeeding if progress is the main objective. So you're going to be setting annual goals, and then you're going to break it down into monthly goals and then weekly actions. And then as you go through the year, you can adjust. Okay, the next part is your annual goal section. With every one of the 8 categories that we saw in the Life Compass, there is a space for writing annual goals. So I've covered that up since it's private, and I've also added images that come from my vision board, which I'm about to show you. But the first step is to identify, based on the intentions that you have already articulated, what is most important to you in these 8 areas, and then turn them into short, concise goals. So here's an example. Let's say that you have always had a messy car. So this might be in your environment category. And I'm just making this up, okay, because my car's not messy. But let's say that you always have a messy car, and your goal is to always have a clean car. Your goal would be, you could actually state it in the affirmative. I am a person who always maintains a clean car. I'm a person who always has a clean car. I am always proud of the way my car looks. Something like that. You make it short and concise. So this is where you do your annual goals. So you can dream big. Don't be afraid, because you can change the goals later if you need to. All right, the next area is your vision board. Here's my main vision board, and I actually did a video vision board with me. So if you want to learn more about this vision board, or if you just want to go through the process of setting up your vision board and pretend like I'm there with you, then put on that video. It's just called Vision Board with Me. And if you'll notice, there are little stickers here. So these are areas that are color-coded by those 8 categories in the Life Compass. Orange is fun and recreation. So anything that has orange on it is an illustration of what I'm trying to reach for in that area. Anything with this shade of teal on it is spiritual and personal growth. The green is financial. And then the yellow is personal. This is neat. I mean, I love scrapbooking, so that was fun anyway, but it really is actually a helpful tool, because when you have these images in your mind, that just adds a whole new layer of solidifying what it is that you're going for, because you have a visual of it, not just a sentence proclaiming it or something. Okay, when you begin, this is January, and I didn't start it until the very end of June, but I love this. Dream big, live with intention, dare to grow, embrace the struggle, be kind to yourself, know your worth, practice gratitude, exclamation point, find your joy, design your life, and just begin. All right, this is a typical month setup. This one's February, so you've got the calendar spread, and then you have this monthly goal section, which is those same 8 categories, and you'll just refer to your annual goals and decide, what can I do this month? And you might also want to take those annual goals and divide by 12, if you're not sure how much should I strive for in one month. If you can give it some kind of a numeric quantity, the annual goal, especially if you wanted to save X number of dollars, you could certainly divide that by 12 if you wanted to save an even amount every month or an equal amount every month. If you wanted to lose a certain number of pounds, a certain number of inches, or spend a certain number of days doing something, you could certainly use that calculation to help with the monthly goals. But others, I think you're just going to have to approximate how much would be appropriate for a month. Then every single week you get a notes page, notes and reflections. And let me just tell you, I'm holding this pen. I've been using a tool, gel pen, in this, and it feels so good to write on this paper. In fact, I'm just gonna say here, let me see if you can see this. Okay, I mean, you can't tell how it feels, but I'll just show you what it looks like. It it just feels good to write on this paper. And then on the back, I mean, you can see a little indentation because I push a little bit hard. That doesn't bother me. I just love how it just sort of, I don't know, it's smooth, but at the same time, I don't feel like my pen is slippery. I feel like it's kind of gripping my pen somehow and helping me to, write neatly. All right, so you get this notes page every single week, and then you get weekly actions. And that's where you're gonna take down your monthly goals, maybe approximately divide by 4 to work toward those goals. Or if it's just a habit that you're trying to develop, then you're not dividing. You're just gonna make sure you put that habit into each week so that it really becomes a part of your mode of living, your pattern of living. And here is the weekly spread. So again, I'll lift this up to get the shadow off of it. So very faintly you have an M for Monday, T for Tuesday, and then on top of that, in a nice sort of calming hue, I think it looks teal, then you see the month printed. And I wonder if that changes color each month. We'll look at January. Well, here's January. Okay, so it was kind of gray or charcoal in December, then it went to what looks like a dark blue or dark purple. So it's teal for February. And then March, it's green for March, but the layout is essentially the same. It's just a very subtle change in color. So you've got lined vertical. Can you see the lines? I don't know how many times I have asked for a lined vertical in my life, or an unhoured hourly. Just because I write neater, I know a lot of people write neater when they have lines. So this has no hours on it. You can put in hours if you want to, or you can just use this as a list format. And then down here, there's a little heart. And Sierra says in the opening pages that that is to prompt you to be grateful and to write down at least one thing that you're grateful for each day. But you could also use this for meal planning. If this was not just a goal planner, you could use it for your meals, or you could use it for your top 3. If this was your regular weekly planner. And I love this. You write down your habits. You've got a built-in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 habit trackers. So right now what I'm putting on mine is go to sleep by 10, work on my book, check in with Quicken, just to keep up with my finances every day, a little bit every day, not let them get behind. And then next week you get a whole other planning space. So this is where your weekly actions go, but you know what? You can pre-plan here also. This could be where you're a little bit messy, where you figure things out and brainstorm, and then this could be where you kind of settle on what you're gonna do. These columns are the same width as in an Erin Condren planner. They're 1.5 inches wide. I'm gonna grab my ruler and we'll check that just to verify it. So yes, these are 1.5 inches wide. The columns are 1.5 inches wide. And then you've got a note section here. So in some planners, like the Happy Planner, I believe, and also Erin Condren, you have your notes or your to-do sidebar over here on the left. In the MäksēLife, it's on the right. So you have 4 days on the left, 3 days on the right. I kind of prefer that because I think of Friday as part of the weekend. So this, even though it's not, but you're thinking about the weekend. So I kind of enjoy having just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday together. That was something I liked about the horizontal layout in the Erin Condren planner, was you had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday on the left side. Anyway, that's not a big deal. All right, and then at the end of each month, what you do is spend some time doing a monthly reflection. Let's make sure I didn't skip something before this. No. Okay, my biggest wins this month were things that are currently working in my life, things that are currently not working in my life. So here is what I learned this month. What improvements or adjustments do I need to make going into the next month? What am I most grateful for right now? Habits I want to nurture next month. And then rate your overall satisfaction for this month on a scale of 1 to 10. This is so nice. I'm a data person, so I really like that. I like putting a number value to things. So as we said, March is green. April is it looks gray to me. May is sort of a yellowish greenish. June is kind of a muted orange. It's not a bright orange. And then here we're getting into my month that I actually started with. So I'm not using this calendar spread as something that I put all of my planning in. I'm using it for specifically goals that I've set in this planner. So see how it says July Silent Day? I'm terrible at the fun and recreation category. Well, one of the things I need to do, because I'm an introvert, okay? You other introverts out there are gonna understand this. I need to have a break from people and talking sometimes. Do you understand that? I have friends who in no way can comprehend that because they've got to talk. Okay, I don't have to talk. So what I want to do is have one silent day every single month. And I decided that the weekend would be bad for that because that's when my husband and I have the most time together, and I don't want to just like not talk to him. So I wanted it to be on a weekday. And what I'm going to do is like not answer the phone. Maybe I'll text. I don't know. This is the first one, so it's an experiment. But I'm not going to talk at all. I can write notes, I guess, if I've got to communicate, but I'm going to be quiet. And then another thing I want to do, this is in the family relationships category, is, you know, our children are grown and they have adult lives and they're busy. So we want to try to get together for family dinner night once a month. So I've started using this, and then let's see if I can share this stuff. Some of the things I want to do are have a home maintenance fund. I'm reading a book called Refresh, and that's in my spiritual category. I want to memorize half of Psalm 35. It's a long psalm. I don't know if I'll do it. Okay, so I wrote out verses 1 through 10 because writing helps me memorize. But anyway, that's one of my goals. This is my category I'm really bad at. So I want to have at least one coffee date or Zoom date with a friend. I'm looking for a possible getaway for my husband and me. We haven't had a vacation in ages. That's one of the reasons I scored so low in that category. And I have already scheduled the silent day. So I'm highlighting my goals when I finish them. We go through all of the months like this, and I'm excited that I have 6 months in this planner, even though it would be great if I'd started it in January. Every quarter, there's a quarterly compass, and you're going to redo your assessment, figure out your new score. So you put your current score here in this column, and then first, let's see what it says, what first is for. Is this your first score? Maybe so, because this is the last quarter. We've got to check into this, guys. We got to go back. It's different here. Okay, so at the end of September, which is your third quarter, you're putting your current score in each of the 8 categories and then the last quarter's score. So you're seeing whether you have gotten better or worse. Have you gotten a higher score closer to 10? Or have you sunk back closer to 1? I guess that's a possibility too. So the last quarter is different because you're gonna see your whole 12 months, or in my case, 6 months, of the difference between your current score and the score you started with when you established your starting point. And then you have 2020 on one page, 2021 on one page. So of course next year that'll be 2021 and 2022. Lots of notes pages. And one of the goals in my spiritual category is to memorize more scripture. So I just thought I would probably use these notes pages mostly for scripture. And some of you I know are going to want to know exactly how many notes pages. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a half. So 6 times 2, 12. You have 12 if you count front and back, 13. Then you have some stickers, and I'm a sticker person, so I've already used a lot of these. I use them in my vision board just to kind of add them to the pictures and show what category they go with. And then you've got, this is a cardboard or cardstock, I should say, pocket. It's not super heavy, but it's, I mean, does the job. And then you have another pocket right here. This pocket is also paper, but it's thick. It kind of comes out accordion style. And there is an elastic strap on it, which I've been using to mark the day. Look, I just want you to see that metallic right there. Goal setting and weekly planner. So you can use it for goals or just your regular weekly planner. Here's where the rings come together. What was I gonna show you? Oh, the way I'm using the strap. I use it as like a page marker. This part of July, I would just go like that. So, or you can just close the whole book with it. It's got kind of rounded edges. Okay, so let's look up and see how much this costs. So I looked online and it looks like the regular price if you were starting with a fresh planner at the beginning of a year is $68. I believe I saw it marked down to $35 recently because we're halfway through the year. And when I visited their website just now, it says that they're actually down getting ready to gear up for their next planner. So their website is down until 6 o'clock Eastern time today. I wanted to also say that it's available in horizontal for the weekly spread. So you can get vertical or horizontal. And I believe that the horizontal also is lined but with no hours. And another great thing about this planner is that you can go online and download that life compass. They also have free downloads of the weekly spread. So you can try out the vertical spread as well as the horizontal spread for free just by downloading it. I think next what we're gonna do is a pen test. Okay, so obviously I'm only using the pens that I have, and I just had one tool with me. I didn't have any Papermate Ink Joy or anything, but I had a bunch of Pilot G2s. So you've got Erin Condren gels, Erin Condren dual tip. I only use 2 colors of those, and I have a bunch, so I probably should have done more, but I ran out of room. The Pilot G2s, 1 friction highlighter, which I love. Of course, those are erasable too. The new Erin Condren highlighters, and then a bunch of mild liners. So, oh, and a couple of permanent pens. We probably know what's going to happen with that. But let's look on the back of the page and see how this went. All right, so actually I'm pretty surprised because the Sharpie you can see a little bit, and the microperm you can see a little bit, but not a bunch. And with the highlighters, I thought there would be more. I thought there would be some more bleed through with some of these darker shades, but there was maybe a touch right there with this darker blue one that I used twice. It's kind of like a dark periwinkle. But most of them did not bleed through. So this is nice paper. It really is. It's like, I mean, it's thinner paper, I think, than what is in an Erin Condren planner, but it's not a lot thinner. It's definitely smoother, and it has a little bit of a, I guess, a grayish cast to it, but not much. You know, I think the Erin Condren paper has kind of a yellow cast to it or an ivory cast to it, but it's subtle, just like this is subtle. But this is nice paper, and it feels really nice to write on. So can you use this as your main planner, your only planner? Yes, by all means you could. You can also do what I'm doing and use it specifically for a goal planner. I personally prefer this goal planner to the Erin Condren Petite Goal Planner just because of the introductory instructions. I think they're superior. I think this is more thorough, and the life compass aspect of it with all of the questions to really help you nail down which areas of your life you need to work on the most to kind of have everything in good balance. I think that makes this a winner. I love the paper. I love the size of it. So I definitely recommend this planner, and I hope to get one again in 2021. I think it's a nice planner. A couple of recommendations. Han Can Plan has a video somewhere, maybe on her IGTV, I'm not sure where she Frankenplans. Maybe it's a horizontal and a vertical MäksēLife. Or Plan with Laura has some videos on MäksēLife. I think there are several people actually in the planner community that you can find tips and inspiration from for how to use this. And I think sticker kits would probably work just fine because the column width is 1.5 inches, just like with an Erin Condren vertical. So you know what, I just made a good point without meaning to. These columns are not as wide as the Erin Condren hourly. They are the same width as the Erin Condren vertical, which is 1.5 inches wide. In the hourly of the Erin Condren, it is like 1.6. Or 1.65, something like that. It's just a little bit wider. But I like this because of how the hours are gone. I don't like to see hours. But anyway, it's aligned vertical, so that's your dream come true if that's what you've been wanting. All right, thank you guys for watching, and let me know if there's another planner you'd like for me to try and review. Bye-bye.